So we are entering to the next session of demo classes. We are having the fourth demonstration class. As we know, our students are really showing you how much effectively we can take our classes digital platform. So they are introducing various apps to you and how effectively each instructional objectives can be achieved in a digital platform is what they are showing you in digital demonstration sessions. Today, our team is of Merlin Abraham, Nina PC, and Surya S. Karun, and we're discussing on the topic of total internal reflection. So I am inviting team over to the team.
Hi all. A warm good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to another session of Pure Teaching. Talent wins games, but teamwork wins companionship. These were the words of Mikhail Johnson. So, as a team, we three are present before you, and I am Surya S. Karun.
I am Merlin Abraham.
I am Leah. So, let's begin the session. So now the screen is visible. Okay. Can you see the screen, Merlin?
Yeah, yes, Surya.
Okay. Explain. Okay, can you see an image?
Yes, Surya.
Okay, so are you familiar with this?
Yes, of course, it's diamond.
Yes. So what are the peculiarities of a diamond? Is there any peculiarity of a diamond like lustrous?
Yes, of course, it is lustrous and it is very costly.
Yes, it is very costly and it is lustrous. Okay. So in addition to these, there is a phenomena which contributes to the lustrous of the diamond. So this is known as the total internal reflection. So now we are going to deal with the total internal reflection. So before going to deal with total internal reflection, let us see some other optical phenomena that gives a pathway for total internal reflection. So now we can see another image. Okay, is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, so now we are going to deal with the first part of the optical phenomena, that is we have seen here, it is the refraction, that is the refraction of lights. Okay, so as a refraction of light, okay, when a ray of light traveling through one medium strikes obliquely to the surface of another transparent medium, then there is a change in the direction in the second medium. So this change is called the refraction of light. That is, there is a change when a light travels from one medium to another medium. So light refracts at boundaries between two medium because of the changes in speeds. You can see it in the figure that a light in the the glass section has a slower speed and light in the air has a faster speed. Don't you see it?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Now we can deal with how the light rays travel. If ray of light enters from rarer into denser medium, it bends towards the normal. That is, when the light rays are traveling from rarer to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. But when it enters from denser to rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. That is, when it bends from rarer to denser medium, it bends towards the normal, and when it enters to denser to rarer medium, in the second case, it bends away from the normal. It is visibly seen in the screen as that from the first case, when air to glass, the the light waves are bent towards the normal. And in next case, when glass to air, the light waves bend away from the normal. Okay. So let us see another image that we can see that it is a usual common phenomena. Don't you ever see the picture? Or don't you
Yes.
ever experience? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What is the reason behind or what you have observed in this image?
I think the pencil had broken.
Okay, okay, Merlin, that's just your illusion. If a person looks at straight objects such as pencil, which is placed at a slant, like that we have seen, right here the pencil is in the water with like a slant position, isn't it? Yes, this is due to the bending of light as they move from water to air. It is due to the bending of light. We can be seen clearly in the upper portion of the slide, that is the light rays are bending. Okay, so simply it is termed as the refraction of light. This is due to the principle of reflection of light. So now we can move on to the Snell's law. And it can be seen in the screen that the law states that the ratio of sine of the angles of incident and of refraction is a constant that depends upon the media used. That is, the law states that the ratio of sine of angle of incident and that of refraction is a constant. Okay. So we can see in the screen that is Ni sine theta is equal to Nr sine theta r. Okay, that is the equation of the Snell's law. That is, it is nothing but the ratio sine of the angle of incident and that of the refraction is a constant. But it depends upon the media that we have used, like water, air, etc. Okay. So now let us see some refractive indexes of various objects. Okay. So is it visible? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, index of refraction of common materials. Okay. Let us go through the slides. That is vacuum. It has refractive index of 1 and air 1.003, water 1.33, and ethyl alcohol about 1.636, and whale oil, and that all. And about glass, there should be crown glass have an index of 1.52 and of salt 1.58. Okay, and also diamond has a refractive index of 2.42. Okay, so the further sessions will be dealt with Merlin.
Yes. Now we have to study about total internal reflection. Before that, let's watch a video. Can you see this? Can you see this, Surya?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes. Here we can see a rarer medium and the absolute refractive index of this medium is N1. And denser medium, the absolute refractive index of this denser medium is N2. And let us study the case of a light ray passing from denser medium to rarer medium. And here we can see a normal incident ray. Yes, during this normal incidence, though there is a change of medium, the light ray travels in a straight path without any bending. Now we can say, see, a ray of light incident at an angle I1 and it become refracted at an angle R1. It is bent away from the normal. And we already see that the Snell's law, and in this we can return it as N2 sine N1 is equal to N1 sine R1. Yes. And in another ray of light, incident at an angle I2 and it become refracted at an angle R2. And here also we can return it as Snell's law, that is N2 sine I2 is equal to N1 sine R2. And in another case, another ray of light is incident at an angle C. We can observe here the refracted rays graces at these two medium and the refracted angle is 90. And here also the Snell's law is obeyed, that is N2 sine C is equal to N1 sine 90. And we know that sine 90 is equal to 1. So we can return it as N2 sine C is equal to N1. And from that, sine C is equal to N1 by N2. And here N2 is the absolute refractive index of this denser medium and N1 is the absolute refractive index of the rarer medium. And we know that For air, N1 is equal to 1. Then sin C is equal to 1 by N2. And if ND is the absolute refractive index of the denser medium and NR is the absolute refractive index of the rarer medium, then we can return it as sin C is equal to NR by ND. And sin C is equal to 1 by N2, that is sin C is equal to 1 by ND. Yes, let us define the critical angle. Yes, we can see here an incident angle, and if we increase this incident angle, what will happen to this refracted angle? Yes, the refracted angle also increases, and the refracted angle become 90, and the corresponding incident angle is known as critical angle. And now we can define this critical angle, that is when a light ray travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, if the angle of refraction in the rarer medium is 90 degree, then the corresponding angle of incidence in the denser medium is called critical angle of that pair of media. And now we must have a knowledge about certain values of critical angle. That is, for water, the critical angle is 49, and for glass, the critical angle is 42. Just keep it in your mind. And now we can move on to the total internal reflection. That is, if the incident angle is, if the incident angle is go beyond this critical angle, what will happen, Surya? Yes, I think there is some network issues. Okay, it becomes the
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. I think the refraction is no longer take place. There will be no reflection.
Yes, exactly. There will be no refraction. In this, it get reflected inside totally, and this is total internal reflection. The incident ray or the incident ray is incident on a air glass interface will does not undergo refraction. It will undergo reflection and is known as total internal reflection. So why it is called total internal reflection, Nina?
I think because no part of the incident ray moves outside.
Exactly. Entire ray of light is within that medium. So that is total internal reflection. Now we can define this total internal reflection. Yes. Yes, when a light travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, if the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle, the ray returns to its denser medium, and this is known as total internal reflection. So next we have to deal with the conditions that needed for the total internal reflection. So I invite Nina.
Okay, now we are discussing about total internal reflection. Okay, we are studied about total internal reflection. Next, we are move on to, there are certain conditions for total internal reflection. We are going to discuss the conditions for total internal reflection. There are major two conditions there. The first condition is that light must travel from denser medium to rarer medium. And the second one is the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. These are the major two conditions for total internal reflection. Then we are more discuss the more about first condition. When light travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium, it bends away from the normal, as illustrated to the left. We can see the example to glass to air. We can take the example. Then this behavior follows from Snell's law that we already discussed the Snell's law. Then it is the first condition. Then the second condition is that the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. The refracted ray will not emerge from the medium, but will be reflected back into the medium. It is the second condition, that if the angle of incidence is bigger than the critical angle, the refracted ray will not emerge from the medium, but will be reflected back into that medium. It is the two major conditions for total internal reflection. Then we are discuss the applications of total internal reflection. There are mainly 3 applications for total internal reflection. First one is optical fiber, and then is mirage, and the third one is rainbow. The first one, optical fiber. Total internal reflection is also used in optical fibers. An optical fiber consists of an inner core of high refractive index glass and surrounded by an outer cladding of lower refractive index. When light is introduced into the inner core, at one end, it will propagating along the fiber in a zigzag path, undergoing a series of total internal reflection. It is the applications of optical fiber. Then we are moving to the second application, that is rainbow. We are all familiar with rainbow. We are all like rainbow. Then in nature, rainbows are formed when light from the sun is refracted and undergoes total internal reflection inside rain droplets. The best conditions for rainbows are when the sun is fairly low in the sky, for instance, at dawn or late in the afternoon. This is because total internal reflection occurs at the rear of the raindrop, that is at the water to air interface. This is the medium changing interface. Then we are moving to the third application, that is mirage. The mirage is caused by the total internal reflection of light at layers of air of different densities. In a desert, the sand is very hot during daytime, and as a result of the layer of air in contact with it gets heated up and becomes lighter. The lighter air rises up and the denser air from above comes down. It is the mechanism of mirage. Then we are moving to a video that shows the mechanism of mirage. Surya, can you present the screen? Okay, there is a technical issue. Sorry for that. Next, we are moving to this is all about today's topics that we are discussed about the definition and critical angle and what is total internal reflection and applications, and there are certain conditions for total internal reflection. Then we are moving to the end of the session. We can sum up the session. Okay, Surya will sum up the session.
So it's the time for sum up that we have what we have learned. So let us discuss the stars of today's session. So as far as we have discussed about the total internal reflection, before going to dealing with total internal reflection, we have dealt about refraction, critical angle, total internal reflection, the various factors, and about the applications of total internal reflection. So let us see by one by one. The first one is refraction. So what is refraction? Refraction is the bending of light. It also happens with sound, water, and other waves as it passes from one transparent substance into the another. So the first one is the refraction. That is, we have discussed about refraction as the bending of light. It also happens with sound, water, and other waves as it passes from one transparent medium to another. So the next one that we have discussed is what? The critical angle. So the critical angle is the angle of incidence in water reaches a certain critical value. The refracted ray lies along the boundary, having an angle of reflection of 90 degrees. This angle of incidence is known as the critical angle. So next we have discussed about total internal reflection. So total internal reflection is the phenomena which occurs when the light rays travel from a more optically denser medium to a less optically denser medium. Okay, so next one is the factors that affects total internal reflection. We have discussed two factors that affects the total internal reflection. The first one is the light must be traveling from a more denser medium into a less denser medium. And also the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. Now, we have discussed about the applications of total internal reflection. We have dealt with optical fibers, mirage, and rainbow. So these are the major concepts that we have dealt today. Let us assess today's session. For that, I invite Marlene.
Ina, can you stop this presentation? Okay. Yes, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's check what all things we have learned today. So let's start. Yes, 3, 2, 1. Here comes the first question. Which of the following phenomena takes place inside an optical fiber? Option A, dispersion. Option B, total internal reflection. Option C, reflection. And option D, scattering. So what will be the answer?
Total internal reflection.
Exactly, it is total internal reflection. So the next question. Mirage is due to total internal reflection by the various layers of air. Option B, dispersion of light by various layers of air. And option C, scattering of light by various layers of air. Or option D, all of the above. So which is the correct one?
Total internal reflection by the various layer of airs.
Exactly, it is total internal reflection by the various layers of air. So the third question is the critical angle for glass is option A 30, option B 42, and option C 50, option D 44, 45. So which will be the correct one?
42.
Yes, exactly. The critical angle for glass is 42. Here comes the first question. Critical angle is option A, the angle where the angle of incidence and refraction are same. Option B, the angle of incidence where angle of refraction is 0. And option C, the angle of incidence where the angle of refraction is 90. And option D, none of them. So, which is the correct one?
The angle of incidence where the angle of refraction is 90 degree.
Yes, you're correct. And the next question. So the last and final question is, which of the following is the necessary condition for total internal reflection? Option A, the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. Option B, both A and B, and option C, only B, and that is option D, the light must be traveling from a more denser medium into a less dense medium. So which is the correct one?
I think the first and the last questions are same.
Yes, correct?
Both A and B.
Yes, exactly. So that's all about today's session. And now we can move on to the follow-up activity.
Okay, then we are moving on to the follow-up activity of this session. Then I will show you the screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Neena.
It's visible?
Yes.
Okay. The follow-up activity of this session is take a coin and a glass. Now put the coin below the glass and fill the glass with water. Write down the observation and reason for your findings in your science diary. Okay. Take a coin and a glass. Now put the coin below the glass and fill the glass with water. Write down your observation and reason for your findings in your science diary. Then it is the last part of our session.
Hello, friends.
We are
Neena, I
Hello?
think there is network issues. Neena, I think there is some network issue. So,
Hello, friends. So that's all for today.
Hello?
Hope
Hello?
all of you have understood. Hello, friends. That's all for today. Hope all of you have understood the session and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Very good.